Worship is more than lights, music, and a funny pastor, by Nora Tatina. Yet a time is coming and has now come when the true worshipers will worship the Father in the Spirit and in truth. For they are the kind of worshipers the Father seeks. John chapter 4, verse 23. Whenever I go on vacation, I always think about the location. For me, the place really matters. For my heart to unwind and my body to relax, I need scenic views, blue, clear skies, and tons of sun for days. It doesn't matter if I'm on the beach, in a cabin in the mountains, or at a super cute Airbnb, as long as the place offers a relaxing, calm, and peaceful atmosphere. I am all in. If you're like me and you want to have an unforgettable vacation, you don't book a fixer-upper unless you're planning on spending your entire vacation premiering on an HGTV show. Sadly, many of us view worship through the same lens. We choose our church based on the style of music or the number of programs. We prefer churches that sound more like a concert than a place of reverence. We pay attention to the size of the church rather than the message being preached from the pulpit. Worship has become a form of consumerism rather than a gathering of believers who worship the one who is worthy of complete adoration and devotion. In John chapter 4, verses 20 through 26, Jesus' encounter with a Samaritan woman not only alters the trajectory of her life, but also provides biblical insight into worship. When the topic of worship comes up during their conversation, she asks Jesus which place would be the best for worship, the mountain or Jerusalem. Jesus responds by saying, "A time is coming when you will worship the Father neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem. True worshipers will worship the Father in the Spirit and in truth, for they are the kind of worshipers the Father seeks." John chapter 4, verses 21 and 23. Here, Jesus points out that worship isn't about the location, but it's about the person, Jesus Christ. So often we lose sight of this very truth. Worship isn't about the lights, the style of music, or whether or not the pastor is funny. Worship is simply about Jesus. Jesus didn't just address the issue of location, but he also addressed the heart. He says that God is looking for worshipers who worship him in spirit and truth, meaning the Lord is looking for authenticity. Because when we worship the Lord, it's our heart that matters. He doesn't care about smoke machines or catchy tunes. He's looking for the worshiper who is willing to say no to the world and sin, and yes to living a life that honors him. However, worship must also be based on the truth found in Scripture because it isn't subjective. Worship is about Jesus and him alone. Let's remember who we worship, and may we be true worshipers who worship in spirit and in truth. Questions for reflection. When deciding on a church home, what is most important to you and why? What's your favorite worship song? How does this song point you to Jesus? Before gathering with other believers, how can you prepare your heart for worship?